Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Guess you're tuning into the False Nine TV channel. Guess you're looking to see some predictions, huh? Well, if this doesn't make you uncomfortable, wait till you see my predictions. Let's get into it. So if that intro was not weird enough, at number 6, just getting into the playoffs, I've got Wrexham. Now, have I bought into the hype? Kinda. It's hard not to pick them until they prove otherwise. Do I think they have a playoff team? Honestly, right now I don't. But their owners' pockets and their desire to win and their resources is something that just other teams in this league don't have. I'm not saying other teams don't have this, but Wrexham just has more of it. Whatever they need to get to be a playoff team, I think they are going to get, or at least take a chance on getting. And a side note to remember when it comes to Wrexham, a lot of their star players have not proven themselves in this league, and they've not been in this league or above in quite a long time. And just remember, guys like Ollie Palmer, they weren't exactly blowing the world away in League One when they were playing in League One, and they're also like 3-4 years older than they were. But based off the resources that Wrexham have, I've got them finishing in the playoffs, just not on paper right now, but they're going to get there. Finishing in the 5th spot, and this is a team that I do think is going to be a little bit of a bust if they don't at least make the playoffs, and that's Huddersfield. They've kept a lot of talent, and they have strong goalkeeping, and they got a strong midfield, which I think in this league has the makings to a strong season. I'm not necessarily sold on their forwards, and call me crazy if you want to, but I do think that's a weak point for them. And a little bit of a side note when it comes to Huddersfield. How cool of a career has Jonathan Hogg had playing at 3 levels for the same club? I'm pretty sure he just wishes it was reversed. Finishing in 4th is a team I actually really like this year, and that's Charlton Athletic. And this is a team that you have to start at the manager position, Nathan Jones, the Luton Town legend. They've just been hard to beat since he took over, and since he was appointed manager. And now that he's had a full offseason with the club, I just think they're going to be that much better and harder to beat. They're loaded with tons of young talent, and they got some veterans seasoned in. I just definitely think it's a recipe for success, and I do think they'll find it this year. And I slightly think it's time to get the Valley back in the championship. And remember, when I was young, this team was in the Premier League. So it's going to be really cool, and I'm hoping they have some success this year. Finishing 3rd, I've got the team led by Sir Steve Evans as he gets handed a strong squad known as Norwich City. Wait. Wrong Yo-Yo Club. I meant Rotherham. Alright, that was a pretty bad joke, but it made more sense in my head. But in all seriousness, Liam Kelly, Joe Rafferty, Reece James, Joe Powell, Clark Harris, just to name a few. Not necessarily 100% sold on Cameron Dawson, but the back line and manager are good enough to cover any weak points that Rotherham have. The team also has quality on the bench. We'll see if they can claw their way back into the championship again, but this time just via the playoffs. At 2nd place, they finally get back to the championship, and they're finally able to actually afford Christian Doidge. That's Bolton, just minus the Christian Doidge part. They've not been as active as pretty much anybody else I'm going to mention today, but they seemingly have been very methodical about who they bring in. And plus, the past shows are only a play here and there from actually even making the championship anyway. They're currently, in my opinion, the favorite to win the race for 2nd place. And this offseason, they managed to score 10 goals, including a draw against Serie A Fiorentina, which is pretty hard to do, especially for a League One team. And look for a big year from Eomide. You're not going to catch me pronouncing it, even though my wife would be very disappointed that I can't pronounce it. But look for a big year from him. Winning League One this year, and I think it's quite obvious, isn't it? 99% of predictions probably have this, and mine's no different. and that's Birmingham City. Tons of just bad choices last year brought them here, but I think they're truly going to fly away this season. Ruddy is replaced by two, in my opinion, two very quality keepers. Keep an eye out for Peacock Farrell. I believe he's going to be really good. Alfie May is obviously going to bring some firepower. This team is just too deep, and the quality is just too much for League One. If new manager Chris Davies screws this up, good luck finding another job. But then again, Wayne Rooney also screwed this up somehow last year. But nonetheless, they're going to win the league pretty easily this year. Now, you negative Nancy's, let's focus on the teams that are going to get relegated to League Two. And finishing 21st, this one might be the biggest surprise on my list. And at 21st, I've got Northampton Town. And I'm not really sure where to start with this club. Their 9 hasn't scored more than 5 league goals the past 5 years, including a stint in League One. It just seems like they're on the decline right now, and they're not doing anything to stop it, while everybody else just got a little bit better. Last year, they had several players have very, very big years, career years, which provided decent results, but I just don't see these players repeating that. They brought in a few familiar names if you're a fan of the club, but I just think as of right now, the club is just too weak as it stands to stay up. So I've just got them by a hair getting relegated, but they're a move or two away from actually maybe flipping this up a little bit more. At 22nd, I've got Burton Albion, and a near 60-year-old manager with only 2 years head coach experience mixed with a club that nearly already got relegated last year. I think it's just going to be a dogfight for them to avoid anywhere near the Final Four. A lot of the squad is new, and it's hard to imagine anything but a struggle. Although I will say a shout out to Burton Albion though, because it's nice to see someone from Florida in the USA, Nick Akoto, possibly getting some playing time in this league though. At 23, I've got a club that spent nearly a decade in League One. And I'm sure this is not the movement they wanted when they were going to exit League One, but that's Shrewsbury Town. A former club of one of my favorite players, which is Marlon Fossey. This does stink a little putting them there, and I think the town is absolutely beautiful. They currently barely have a team together. The goalkeepers look to be a very big question mark. I'm not sure where the goals are going to come from either. And when you mix these two issues together, goal scoring and keeping goals out, that's kind of a big problem. And I don't think they virtually have no depth in this club. I just don't see a situation where they don't get relegated, unfortunately. And that's pretty much all I've got to say about that. So finishing last this year, and I don't think this is much different than a lot of other prediction videos, and that's Crawley Town. And I think it's a bit crazy we're even talking about Crawley in League One. I think most people, including myself, thought that they were a mid-table. They were a mid-table team in League Two last year, and to be honest with you, they're probably still that. They've lost tons of players that got them here. I actually think they probably took a step back with the replacements they brought in. The club should definitely be proud that they actually got here. I hope they put up a fight, but I just think this team is very, very weak, and this could be an historically bad year for them. However, shout out to American Jeremy Kelly for making this club, and hope you get some minutes this year. Thank you for watching my last prediction video of the year. The championship is way out oversaturated, and the Premier League is even worse, so we're not going to do championship or Premier League prediction videos. This is going to be my last full league prediction video. I may do one more with other leagues, but we're down in England. So that said, I appreciate you making it to the end of the video. Please tell me what you don't agree with and what you do agree with. Look forward to hearing your predictions, and be safe. Have a good week, guys.